we come up with this idea there was not enough gift giving out there in the food industry. I decided to go into it, to my late father's dismay. Kids were born, they were growing up, and it was pretty hard. But then we turned the corner, and we've seen growth ever since. It was so difficult to get started, and we would get an order of 5 hampers, and we would think it was Christmas, you know? We thought it was great. And all of a sudden the order started to grow and grow and grow. So we started getting organisations with 20 and 30 and 40 hampers. Today the girls don't get excited till they get an order of 400 and over. And I walk in the office and I demand that the girls tell me the orders that come through. Oh, we've got an order today for 50 hampers. That's fantastic. You know the hamper history, you know, it started during World War II, right? By putting hampers together, giving away to the poor people. We do hampers from David Jones down to Dimmies. From the highest denomination of retailers down to the lowest. You know, each day produces approximately 200 hampers a day. You think about it. You know, for our shops, we just can't keep up with stock. Yeah. We only run 3 shops, you know. Because people don't buy 1 or 2, they buy 20, 40, 50. We just got an order from Myers in Chatswood for 80 $150 hampers. 80 hampers doesn't sound much, but 80 hampers is 80 times 20 items. So that's 160 units of product you got to have. That's 80 of these big chests that we're putting them in. 80 bows, 80 cartons, 80 this, 80 that. And the time to make them. That's why all the stock's at the back. We always bring over and above in. We just don't bring in what we need. There'll be 30, 40 pallets of different wines out there. From $5 a bottle to $30, $40, $50 a bottle. You know, there's a pallet and a half of Chivas Regal, a pallet of Maker's Mark Bourbon. Very popular item for us this year. Six months of the year is sourcing and buying. Four months is production. The last 2 months is the distribution side. So in the outside storage, for example, there might be as many as 10,000 pallets of stock. I think the allocation for Big W right now, Peter was telling me this morning, 18 semi-loads. That's got to go out. That's the final top-up allocation. The major allocation for Big W was something like about 68 semi-loads of stock. We've done some little gift baskets for Big W, 3 different varieties, around about 26,000 of each. But we're talking nearly 80,000 hampers in just these 3 little $20 units. Our total Big W order was 168,000 hampers this year or something. That's a lot of hampers. Yeah, it's a logistical nightmare sometimes, you know. We bring in anywhere between 80 to 100 containers of raw material every year. And I'm not talking product. I'm not talking chocolates and biscuits and mustards or wines. 80 containers of raw materials of vehicles. Vehicles are called the thing that we pack a hamper in. Like that cheese board, you know? You couldn't buy a quality cheese board like that. So we bring in a container of cheese boards. Well, that's 36,000 units of cheese boards we brought in. And you got to remember one thing. You're taking a gamble with everything you bring in because you don't know if you're going to sell it or not. The choices are done concurrently with all staff members, with all full-time staff members. We bought in a range of about 18 or 19 different chests, and we sat down and we've culled them down to what we like or we didn't like, and it was majority rule decision that we run the ones we're running through our brochure. You start off by making 100 hampers, and then you go to 200, but nothing changes. And then you go to 1,000, nothing changes. It's just the numbers change, and the amount of people you employ change. When I first started at our peak time, I employed 3 people. Today we're employing 140. And it grew up gradually as the time lapsed. My warehouse manager has been with me for 25 years. My distribution manager has been with me for 11 years. My corporate distribution manager has been with me, Ian. He's been with me for 14 years. Joe's been here for around about 14, 15 years. And they come in and they stay here. They like the culture of the place. And you got an enormous amount of support from them too, you see. Ian was there this morning, opening up the warehouse at 6:30 just to get the Myers orders ready to go on Monday. Now, Wynn is my best example. I wanted somebody to control the back of the production area. And his resume read, political activist. I swear to God, I've kept it somewhere, you know. His IQ must be, I don't know what it is, you know. I mean, you ask him a question on any type of basket, and I've got 5,000 baskets out there. Have we got any of these? And he'll tell you how many, what colour, and where they are. Now that's amazing. And he's been with me ever since. And he came in and he couldn't even speak English well. And people said to me, he won't be able to cope with that. I said, look, you give me a year, you'll work under me directly for 1 year. And I guarantee you this bloke's going to be all right. He's been with us for 7 years now. We cannot load any more than anywhere between 6 to 8 truckloads a day. I think the maximum we've done is 9 semi-loads. Because you got to remember, you know, you got to pull the stock here, you got to put them in order, and they got to be loaded on these semis that turn up. That's an hour and a half process. You do 8 of those a day. I mean, you're working for 12 hours, and we've done that. Anywhere between 5 to 7 semi-loads a day. And so an allocation of that size takes us as long as a week to get into the major warehouses. To Western Australian warehousing, which we freight up by train, refrigerated train, New South Wales, South Australia, Queensland and Victoria. Be honest with people. You know, we ask for no later than delivery date. You need to accept that I might deliver on the 7th or the 8th. Because we make sure it gets there by that date. We want to know later than delivery date. We will not be ridiculous and deliver it 2 weeks in advance, but we could be ridiculous and deliver it 2 or 3 days in advance. You need to accept it. If you can't accept that, you shouldn't be buying from me. If your customer knows that up in advance, you've got no worries. And if they want to be demanding and say, look, I need my hampers delivered for a function on such and such a date in Chatswood in Sydney, I'm terribly sorry, it's not me, I can't do it. It's not our business. So you've got to know what you are. We can deliver it to Antarctica for you for the same price. Yes, we absorb the difference. Anything we sell into Western Australia, we absorb a certain amount of money. It's a huge, beautiful country, huh? And if you go and service Australia, that's what you got to do. You need to be able to absorb some of those costs. From the very beginning, when we started this little company off 30 years ago, it was always my vision to be able to service the whole of the Australian region, the whole of Australian territories, with one phone call or one email.